The notification hits Mia Chen's phone at 2:17 in the morning. On her screen, a stream pops up from Alpha King Live with the title exposing fake rich girls who catfish for gifts. Tonight's target Princess Mia, New York City. Her stomach drops. Mia is 24, a broke graphic design graduate living in a 400-square-foot studio in Brooklyn. And yes, she has a second account. Princess Mia, New York City is her escape with a blonde wig and perfect makeup. She borrows designer bags from 5 different friends and uses a rented Manhattan penthouse backdrop. She films in once a month. It feels harmless. She never asks for money. She just wants to feel expensive for 3 hours a week. But Alpha King Liv is Caleb Whitlock, 28 and absurdly hot, heir to the Whitlock gaming empire in North America. He has 3.2 million followers. His voice could melt steel. Tonight, he is apparently her personal Grim Reaper. Mia opens the stream with shaking fingers. Caleb leans back in his gaming chair, black hair tousled, gray eyes sharp enough to cut glass. Behind him, RGB lights pulse like a nightclub. He tells chat that they have a princess who thinks they are stupid, and that he wants to see how long her fairy tale lasts when he drops the receipts. He clicks, and side-by-side photos appear showing Maya's real face and glasses in a messy bun next to Princess Maya, New York City in full glam. Then he shows the smoking gun, data from her penthouse photos that reveal the exact same short-term rental listing in Soho. Chat explodes with spam saying she is broke, calling her the fake princess, praising Caleb for doing God's work. Mia feels the blood leave her face. In 30 seconds, her follower count on the secret account plunges from 180,000 to 40,000. Brands are already sending messages to say they are pausing their collaborations. She feels like she is being executed in 4K. Caleb leans closer to the camera, voice low and lethal, and he tells the princess that next time she lies, she should not leave the rental watermark in the corner. He ends the stream. Mia sits frozen with tears, burning as she opens her laptop, her fingers flying across the keyboard before her brain can catch up. She sends a direct message as Princess Mia, New York City, saying that he has just ruined her life for clout, and that she hopes the views were worth it. She hits send fully, expecting to be ignored. 3 dots appear immediately. Caleb replies that ruined is the wrong word and calls her sweetheart and says he has just made her famous and that she is welcome. Her rage goes nuclear. She types another message, hoping his overpriced gaming chair gives him hemorrhoids. Caleb fires back that it is cute, really cute, coming from a girl who cannot even afford her own luxury bag. She answers that, at least, she does not need her father's money to feel important. Caleb tells her to keep going and says he likes her angry. She snaps and tells him to go to hell, naming him Caleb Whitlock. He answers that he is already there, that running a company at 28 already feels like hell while people like her fake it online. Then he challenges her to prove she is not just another lying influencer by unmasking herself live on his stream tomorrow night at 9 in the evening Eastern Time. He says she can either do that or keep hiding like a coward. Mia stares at the screen with her heart hammering, knowing that accepting means national humiliation and declining means he wins forever. She types with trembling thumbs. She writes that she will see him tomorrow and tells him not to choke on his silver spoon when she walks all over him. Caleb answers that it is a lot of confidence for a girl about to be dethroned and says 1 million bits says she does not show. She shoots back that 1 million bits, says she makes him apologize on his knees. He keeps typing and seals the deal, promising that tomorrow the internet will watch her fall and telling her to sleep well. Mia slams her laptop shut, adrenaline singing in her veins as she vows she will not go down without dragging Caleb Whitlock into the fire with her. She has no idea that he is already counting the seconds until she does. The next 24 hours are chaos in high definition as the scandal explodes online. Maya's phone blows up with short clips and comments on video apps and long threads on social platforms. Huge forum posts appear where everyone wants to watch the broke princess get publicly destroyed. Brands that once slid into her messages, now disappear and pretend they never knew her. On her real account, Mia Chen Design, she gains 200,000 followers overnight, all of them waiting for her to cry on camera. She refuses to cry. Instead, she buys the strongest coffee in Brooklyn, pulls an all-nighter, and builds the ultimate revenge slideshow. At 9:02 in the evening the next day, Caleb's stream goes live with 1.4 million viewers, his personal record. The title of the stream promises either Princess Mia, New York City's acceptance speech or her execution and invites viewers to place bets. Caleb wears a black dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up, looking unfairly attractive while he prepares to destroy her reputation. He tells his viewers that she will arrive any minute, and he scrolls through donations that all scream for him to roast her, reminding her that the clock is ticking. A new window pops up on his screen, showing an incoming co-host request from Princess Mia, New York City, and the chat erupts. Caleb raises an eyebrow and clicks accept. Mia appears on screen with no wig and no filters, just herself with dark hair in a messy bun and an oversized hoodie. Her glasses slide down her nose as she sits cross-legged on her small bed with a cheap ring light. For 3 full seconds, the stream is silent. Then Caleb smirks and calls her the real peasant entering the chat. Mia smiles in a way that is sweet and poisonous, greeting him and telling him she loves what he has done with his ego. He leans forward and admits he is almost impressed that she actually showed up. She tells him he should be impressed and clicks a button to start her screen share. The first slide shows a screenshot of 19-year-old Caleb with bleached hair and shiny lipstick. Awkward early social media angles frame his face, and the caption labels it as his 2009 era. The chat reacts with savage laughter and delight. Caleb's smile freezes as he tries to shrug it off as ancient history. The second slide reveals leaked Whitlock Gaming financial documents. They show the company lost $87 million last year on a failed digital collectible project Caleb personally approved. His jaw tightens as the numbers sit on screen. The third slide displays a 2017 post from Caleb saying that poor people stay poor because they are lazy and have no hustle. Mia looks straight into the camera and asks him how hard he really worked for that trust fund title he loves so much. The chat flips instantly from mocking the catfisher to cheering that she is cooking him alive. Caleb's eyes narrow, but there is something dangerous and delighted flickering in them as he calls her not bad and labels her a stalker. Mia says she is just getting started and clicks again. A 30-second clip rolls showing Caleb on a private jet last month, drunk and bragging to his friends that influencer girls are all the same. He says they are desperate for a rich guy to save them and that he would never date one ever. Mia tilts her head and softly asks if he still means never. He opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. Now donations pour in for her with messages calling her queen and begging to protect her and to make him apologize. Mia leans closer to her webcam with a soft but lethal voice and reminds him that he wanted her on her knees, pointing out that he is the one sweating now. Caleb stares at her and something shifts behind his storm gray eyes. He slowly pushes back his gaming chair and sinks to his knees on the floor. First one, knee, and then both touch the ground as he rests his hands on his thighs and bows his head. The stream chat explodes as nearly 2 million viewers watch the moment in real time. Caleb looks up with a low voice that feels like it is meant only for her as he admits he was an asshole and apologizes to Mia Chen. Mia's heart stops for a beat because she never expected him to actually do it. He continues and tells her that she wins and that 1 million bits now belong to her. He adds that he also owes her dinner the next night anywhere she wants in the city and calls it reparations. The chat descends into joyful chaos, shouting that he has fallen hard and that they need someone to calm them down. They spam that this is better than any streaming show. Mia blinks and feels her breath catch as she asks if he is serious. He answers that he is completely serious, and his gaze never wavers as he tells her to say yes. She knows she should say no and end the stream and block him forever. Instead, she hears herself whisper that she has one condition: He tells her to name it. She says he has to wear the frosted lip gloss from 2009. A laugh bursts out of him, and it is genuine and surprised and beautiful. He agrees to the deal while still on his knees and promises to pick her up at 8. Mia ends the co-host session before her face can reveal how fast her pulse is racing. The second her camera turns off, she buries her face in a pillow and screams like a teenager. Across the country in his Los Angeles mansion, Caleb stays on his knees long after the stream ends, staring at the blank screen where she had been. His chat keeps echoing one phrase over and over that says the Alpha King just got crowned by a princess. For the first time in years, Caleb Whitlock finds that he cannot wait to be ruled. A black Rolls-Royce pulls up outside Mia's crumbling Brooklyn walk-up building at 7:59 in the evening sharp. Half the block is already streaming from their windows as they aim their phones at the street. Caleb steps out wearing a tailored midnight blue suit with no tie and the top buttons undone, looking dangerously attractive. In his hand, he carries a tiny pink gift bag from a famous lingerie store. He looks up at her 4th-floor window and calls out that the frosted lip gloss has arrived just as promised for his princess. Mia almost chokes with laughter. She grabs her coat, a cheap copy that suddenly feels like armor, and runs downstairs. When she opens the building door, Caleb's gaze drops slowly and deliberately from her messy bun to the ankle boots she polished twice. He starts to say that she looks like trouble and lets the word hang between them as he exhales. She answers that trouble is exactly what she intends to be as she snatches the bag from his hand. Inside, she finds a limited edition 2009 gloss in a shimmering shade called Platinum Ice. Mia uncaps it, swipes it across his lips right there on the sidewalk, and steps back to admire her work. Now he looks like a billionaire vampire who has lost a bet to 2009, and it is perfect. Camera flashes go off as paparazzi and bystanders shout for them to kiss already. Caleb only smirks with glossy lips shining and tells her to get in the car before they cause a riot. Inside the Phantom, the partition is already up with champagne on ice and a single red rose resting on the seat. Mia raises an eyebrow and teases him that he is trying to buy forgiveness with roses now. He answers quietly that he is not trying to buy forgiveness. He says he is trying to say he has been thinking about her for 24 straight hours, and that it is driving him insane. Her breath catches at the confession. He moves closer and admits he was cruel in public, and that he does not do apologies well. But he wants to do this one right. He takes her hand with his thumb, brushing her knuckles, and asks her to let him spoil her for the night with no cameras, no games. Just the two of them. Mia knows she should stay guarded, yet she hears herself agree on the condition that she chooses the restaurant. 40 minutes later, they arrive at a tiny dumpling place in Flushing with no sign on the door. 10 tables and cash only. The owner's auntie takes one look at Caleb and screams when she recognizes him from the viral clips. Caleb eats chili oil dumplings with his sleeves rolled up and his glossy lips stained red as he relaxes at the tiny table. He laughs when Mia feeds him soup dumplings, and the hot broth explodes on his expensive shirt. Between bites, he asks real questions about her favorite font, the first website she ever designed, and why she started the fake account in the first place. He listens to every answer, as if each word is worth gold. At 11 in the evening, he pays the bill and thanks the staff. He leaves a huge tip for Auntie because he says she deserves it and then takes Mia to the rooftop of his private penthouse in Manhattan. City lights glitter below them, and a projector already waits against a white brick wall. Mia asks what this is, and Caleb tells her softly that it is her victory reel. He presses play, and a montage rolls with every clip of her roasting him from the night before slowed down and set to the most romantic music imaginable. Her best lines appear in glowing pink text across the wall. At the end, simple white words fade in to say that he was wrong, that she is real, and that he already belongs to her if she will let him. Mia's eyes burn as she watches. Caleb stands behind her with his arms sliding around her waist and his chin resting on her shoulder as he asks if she still wants him on his knees. She turns in his arms and murmurs that maybe she will want that later. Then she leans in and kisses him, chili oil and frosted gloss and heat mixing between them. Fireworks do not go off. but the entire Manhattan skyline seems to light up in her chest. His phone buzzes nonstop in his pocket, and he silences it without even looking. Mia pulls back just enough to whisper that millions of people are going to see this tomorrow. He tells her to let them watch and murmurs against her lips that he has nothing left to hide. She laughs, breathless, and tells him he is insane. He agrees that he is completely gone as he kisses her again, deeper this time, with his hands sliding into her hair. Somewhere below, a news helicopter crew catches the whole thing with thermal cameras. By morning, the phrases Frosted Lip King and Princess Mia are the top trending topics across the world. Neither of them cares about the headlines. On that rooftop under a blanket of stars and viral chaos, Caleb Whitlock finally understands what winning really feels like. For him, it feels like Mia. 7 days later, Mia's life no longer fits inside her 400-square-foot studio. It starts on Monday morning. She wakes up to 3.7 million new followers on her photo-sharing account and a verified blue check she never applied for. Her inbox turns into a war zone of brand deals, talk show invitations, and wild marriage proposals from strangers overseas. Then her phone rings from an unknown number. Still, half asleep, she answers and hears Caleb on the line, telling her to open her door. She yanks the door open in her worn-out sleep shirt. Caleb stands in the hallway holding 2 coffees and a grin, with 3 movers behind him and a very confused building manager. He announces that she is moving today and explains that he has bought the penthouse across from his own. It is the one with the wraparound terrace she admired on the rooftop last week. Mia can only blink and ask if he really bought an $8 million apartment just because she liked the plants. He says that technically he bought it because he cannot sleep knowing she is 30 minutes away. He hands her a coffee, kisses her forehead like it is the most normal thing in the world, and steps aside so the movers can pack her entire life into 12 boxes. By Wednesday, she has a new office, a sun-drenched loft in Soho with her name on the door in rose gold letters that spell Mia Chen Studio. Inside, she finds the newest desktop computers and a 3-dimensional printer and a couch that cost more than her college tuition. On the wall hangs a framed screenshot of Caleb on his knees with glittery words that claim him as her property. He wipes her tears with the sleeve of his luxury hoodie and whispers that she can cry all she wants. He plans to make it a daily occurrence with happy tears only. On Thursday, he flies them to Chicago because she once mentioned loving deep dish pizza at 2 in the morning. They eat an entire famous deep dish pie on the airport tarmac while the pilots wait in the jet. On Friday, he shows up at her first serious client meeting and walks in behind her carrying her portfolio like a personal assistant. A group of nervous startup founders nearly faint when they realize Caleb Whitlock is in the room. He sits quietly in the corner and nods every time she speaks. When the founders offer her $300,000 for a full rebrand, he stays silent and simply looks proud enough to burst. He burns the first batch and curses in several languages at the smoking pan. Then he orders 11 different pasta dishes from 11 different restaurants while she laughs so hard she can barely breathe. On Saturday, they stay in bed until late afternoon watching reaction clips about their relationship on short video apps. Someone remixes Caleb's kneeling apology with dramatic shipwreck music, and another edit turns Mia feeding him dumplings into a full princess-style montage. They laugh until their ribs ache, and then make out like teenagers while the city screams their names outside the windows. On Sunday, his mood turns quiet. They lie together on the terrace with city lights flickering below, and her head resting on his chest. In a rough voice, he tells her that he needs to ask her something important. She tilts her face up and tells him to go ahead. He pulls a small black box from his pocket, and her heart seems to stop. He opens it to reveal a house key on a delicate gold chain. It is not a ring, at least not yet. He rushes to explain that he is not proposing, and that he knows it is crazy, and that it has only been a week, and that she will think he is out of his mind. She cuts in and says she already knows he is out of his mind. He gives a shaky laugh and tells her that this key opens every property he owns in New York, Los Angeles, and Aspen. It also opens the ridiculous vineyard in Napa that he bought when he was drunk and sentimental. He says they are all hers with no prenuptial agreement and no paperwork. He never wants her to feel she has to pretend again when she is with him. Mia stares at the key and then at him. He tells her plainly that he is in love with her, stupidly and hopelessly. It is the kind of love where he rearranged his entire life in 7 days. just to watch her smile. He admits he does not care if it is fast, and that he has no intention of slowing down. Tears slip down her cheeks. He brushes them away and says she can tell him to wait, and he will wait, or tell him never, and he will burn the deeds. But he needed her to know how he feels. She kisses him hard until they are both breathless, and the key is clutched between their joined hands. She whispers that she loves him too, and calls him her insane billionaire boy with frosted lip gloss trauma. He laughs with a sound that breaks with relief and lifts her off the ground, spinning her under the stars while she squeals. Somewhere below them, paparazzi cameras click like machine guns in the dark. They let the cameras click. The so-called king of the gaming world has surrendered his kingdom to a girl from Brooklyn, and he has never been happier to lose. 3 months later, on the eve of Valentine's Day, New York City is drowning in snow and red heart balloons. Mia thinks they are staying in for a quiet night with simple pasta and her favorite romantic comedy. She really should know better by now. At 7:42 in the evening, her phone buzzes with a message from Caleb asking her to come to the roof and to wear the hoodie she stole from him. She rolls her eyes, pulls on his oversized black gaming hoodie that still smells like him, and takes the private elevator to the top. When the doors open, the familiar rooftop is gone. In its place stands a glass dome, glowing softly in pink light under the falling snow. Thousands of fairy lights sparkle inside, and a single path of rose petals leads toward the edge overlooking Times Square. She blinks at the skyline and realizes the massive digital billboards 47 floors down are no longer showing advertisements. Every major screen from the market tower to the famous red steps and the big music billboard now shows the same image. It is a live feed of Mia standing on the rooftop with her mouth open and snowflakes caught in her hair. Text scrolls across every billboard in perfect unison, spelling out her name in giant glowing letters. The words confess that a king without a crown did not feel whole until she walked all over him and put him back together. Her hands fly to her face as she tries to take it in. The doors of the glass dome slide open, and Caleb steps out onto the rooftop. He wears the same black suit from their first date with frosted lip gloss back on for drama and a single microphone in his hand. This time, he does not kneel. He walks straight to her with eyes, shining brighter than every light in Manhattan, and begins to speak, so the entire city can hear. His voice booms across Times Square and echoes off the tall buildings around them. He tells Mia Chen that 3 months ago she ended him on the internet and that it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to him. Crowds begin to gather below with phones held high and traffic grinding to a halt as someone starts a chant that spreads through the streets. Caleb lowers the microphone and takes both of her hands in his. He explains that he flew her parents in from Ohio and that they are in the front row with her little brother who still thinks he is a game character. He tilts his head toward the biggest screen where her mother is crying and waving wildly. Mia laughs through sudden tears. He says he shut down Times Square because on the night she roasted him, she became the loudest thing in his world. He wants to spend the rest of his life making sure the entire planet knows she is his, and that he is hers. Only then does he finally sink down onto one knee. The ring box in his hand is rose gold, and inside rests a delicate crown-shaped diamond that sparkles under the lights. A tiny engraving on the band declares in playful words that he belongs to his princess. He asks her if she will marry the fool who tried to destroy her online, and instead fell madly in love with her. The entire city seems to hold its breath. Mia looks at the man on his knee, her arrogant, ridiculous, perfect billionaire who has turned the center of the universe into a love letter written just for her. She launches herself at him in the snow and knocks him over in a rush of joy. Laughing and sobbing against his neck, she says yes again and again to her outrageous lunatic of a man. The ring slides onto her finger, as if it were forged for her centuries ago. The square erupts as car horns turn into an impromptu wedding march, and strangers kiss and someone sets off real fireworks over the streets. Caleb kisses her like the world is ending and beginning at the same time, with snow drifting around them and lenses flashing from nearby helicopters. Millions of viewers stream the moment the so-called Alpha King finally hands over his crown. Later, when the footage breaks every streaming record in history, the internet crowns them something new, the greatest love story it has ever loaded. 1 year later, on their wedding day, Mia walks down an aisle made of glowing screens that replay their very first direct message fight. Caleb waits at the end in a black tuxedo with frosted lip gloss proudly back in place, and his eyes fixed only on her. When the officiant asks for the rings, Mia smirks and reminds him that Caleb already gave her the whole kingdom long ago. Caleb pulls her close and answers loudly enough for every microphone to catch that his princess still looks perfect, walking all over him. They share a kiss that sends the online world into a frenzy. For 17 glorious minutes, the internet crashes under the weight of their story. Somewhere back in Brooklyn, a girl in a tiny studio keeps refreshing the page and smiling through happy tears because, for once, the fairy tale feels real. She just had to destroy a king to find her own crown. Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.